we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in. Let's look at the bracket. Remember, it's a handicap tournament. It's also a race to 7 on the on the winner's side, and race to 4 on the one loss side. And we look as if we've got one first round tie, which is Houdini against Yamaguchi Taru, and Houdini will be getting a generous handicap in that, I would imagine. Let me just change the update thing, get that to 30 seconds. So we've got that first round match up and running, and we're waiting on the players going in. Now, is Houdini here, I wonder? That's what I was just wondering there. I don't see his name. Oh, there he is. I see him now. So this is a first round match, and then we've got the other second round matches going to start as well. So we'll go in and we'll watch the first round match, which should be lagging off. The stream quality looks good, and Yamaguchi Taru has won the lag, and Houdini is getting 5 and out, so that's a very generous handicap. It's the maximum handicap you can get, of course. So that means he's got 5 money balls on the table. Sorry, he's got from the 5 to the 9 is his money ball, so of course that puts pressure on Yama not to make mistakes. Now we'll do our customary little check, making sure everything's working. That seems to be working okay. Well, it's been boiling hot in Scotland today. Well, boiling hot for Scotland's about 27 degrees, so it's very warm and humid. Well, Yama can either come back or just stop there or run through, but he's probably going to run through, and that'll leave him the right angle on the 7 into the right middle. And he needs to get behind the 8 ball so he can get up with the 9. He could, I don't know whether he's got the angle to stop it there or to actually run through and come out without going behind his shot. And that's just a little too far. But in it goes. So Yama straight through in the first rack, no problem. And all of a sudden the stream quality's gone to orange or amber. Again, Houdini's saying in the chat that the handicap is a bit much. Well, again, I think with this, I don't know whether he was the same player that said it another week, but it's not the fact that you're getting a generous handicap, it's what you make of it, and that's all down to Houdini. So once again, Yama's in, all the balls on the table, and he's got a difficult one to get onto this 2 ball. He might be playing this with inside English to check it off the rail and come back up the direction that it's coming to avoid the 4. Well, he's trying to sneak through the gap, and he's found a gap. That's an excellent shot. And I think that's the first time I've noticed this. Yamaguchi, who's from Japan, I think we've seen before, I don't think he has a jump cue, and he certainly doesn't have a playing cue either. He's playing with the house cue. And the house cue is not the best cue in the game, let's put it that way. But Yamaguchi seems to make the most of it. This time he can roll through on the 3, but he needs that angle on the 4. If he's going to roll through, he needs to roll through to about here so he can go back up that way. So he's left it high. It's the same thing. He's got a high angle so he can still come off the end rail and go up, but he needs to go up high enough. Well, he's decided against it, and that is probably not the best of shots, because he's now got to force the 5 in to get the cue ball out for the 6, and he's managed to do it. He's got his way of getting there. And I think he'll just be looking to kill the cue ball stone dead, right where the 8 ball is. Well, he's just going to roll it stone dead. Well, again, playing it the fancy way, he's come out. He's okay. The 9 balls off the rail. So Yamaguchi is 2-0 up, and Houdini, I think, had 1 shot in that rack. And I wonder if Houdini is thinking that the handicap is still too much, because Yama's sunk the 1 in the break. This time though, he's got no shot in the 2. The 2 looks as if it's frozen against the 7 ball, so just a push out somewhere. Now, how does that look? So Houdini has gone for the bank in the 2. He's got that. Now is he going to go for the clean shot in the 3? I don't know whether it will squeeze past the 6. And he's going to look at the combo. And that's very close, but that's now a danger, because of course that's one of Houdini's money balls. But that's going to disappear right now, because Yama's just going to tuck that away. That almost locked up there, but it's still going in. So now Yama's a bit short. He can draw off the 4 as long as he avoids the 8. I don't know whether he wants to draw it clean, but whether he wants to hit the rail and come down and up. He might be able to draw it clean across. I think the angle's too great though. I think he has to go around the corner. I don't know whether he can get across off that. Yep, that's the problem. The problem is the 8 ball. I think he needed to dig down on that to avoid the 8. So that's the first sort of positional mistake by Yama. And of course now we're at the critical point in the rack, because all of these balls here, Houdini just needs to sink 1 of them. And he needs a nice little safety shot here if we can try and tuck that 5 ball. Well, that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to start opening things up and just giving your opponent the opportunity. You've got to play wiser against a player of Yamaguchi Taru's caliber. So there's a mistake, and that's a gift for Houdini. So Houdini's off and running. Now, well, one of them's the cue ball, I'm afraid. It's gone. So it's ball in hand. And the 2 and 5 are sat there as a dead combo. So that's going to get rid of that problem. The only other problem is 2 of Houdini's money balls were potted there, and of course they've came back up. And they're stuck together in the middle of the table. So Yama's going to have a bit of work to do here in this rack. And that was a poor one. Now, he had ball in hand, and the one thing which was obvious here is not to do anything with that 6 ball. He's now locked to 6 against the 3 and just made it worse for himself. So this is going to have to be a good shot or a good safety, one of the two. He's got 2 balls locked up, so he's just going to look to probably tuck this away. And the inside English has checked the cue ball back towards the 6. And Houdini's going to have a slash at this and hit and hope. And no luck, he's just caught it too thin, just pushed it to the middle. But the lifeline that Houdini's got here is that 7 and the 8 ball tied up in the middle of the table. The question is whether Yama gets a bit over aggressive here and tries something off the 3 ball. He needs to get position in the 4. So the angle wasn't good, so he's going for the safety and he hasn't got it. Well, I don't know why Houdini's jumping. He can easily kick the 3, and he's a danger of jumping off the table here. And again, all he's done is he's took a big risk just to hit the 3. The bigger risk was actually the fact that one of those balls could have ran into the 7 and the 8 there and split it for Yama. He hasn't done that, but he's given him a chance here. But it's all about the angle on the 4. He's got to get back up for the 6. Yama's playing the game here. He's decided to take the risk there to split them, and again he's now looking at a decent safety. He's prepared to wait on Houdini making another mistake. But this time there's a gap and Houdini can jump the 7, he can pot the 4, but again his problem is the 4's not one of his money balls, he needs to get to the 6. Now I don't know what the stream quality looks okay to me, but it's actually coming up with a amber warning. So Houdini's got the jump and he's well, I must have missed what happened. He must have hit the wrong ball. It's ball in hand. Ball in hand to Yamaguchi Taru, and this should be a simple enough run out. He's going around the corner. And it looks as if he's just gone slightly the wrong side. He can just stop the cue ball where the 7 is, and he'll have an angle in the 8. Doesn't need to do anything spectacular. Just draw it back, and he's got the 9 into the left middle, so a quick stun anyway. He's now going to be 3 racks to 1 up. So Houdini, who again has stated that he thinks the handicap is too generous for himself, is trailing 3-1, so what can he do about it? But as I say, the handicap for Houdini is only good if he uses his head, because this shot here, he's got no shot on the 2, so he should just be tucking it, and he's decided to just break everything up there when he should have tied Yama up. I mean, that's a logical shot to play, is to tie things up. Don't just give him easy starters. If you're going to get a handicap, you've got to play wisely with it. And all he's doing is falling into Yama's hands here and just playing the game. And well, provided Yama can manoeuvre the cue ball, and he's pretty good at doing that, he should be running this rack out here. There's nothing that is a major problem. He's gone a bit close to the rail for comfort, so he's just going to be going forward. Well, he's digging down. This is going to leave it at distance. If the 8 goes past the 9, it does. It goes that way. He's got slightly the wrong angle on the 7. Just a little stunt. So, like I say, Houdini's making it all too easy for Yama. If he doesn't realise it now, he's got to realise it pretty damn quick. That if you give this guy an open table, and not only give him an open table, actually help his cause by not playing a good safety when you had a perfectly good opportunity, you're just gifting him it. Now, this is a shot where he can cut the 2 and he can risk coming up past the 6. If he wants to come up the left hand side, and he's hit that far too hard. It's gone safe, but he could be in trouble in a second or 2 if Yama gets this thin. And I think there's too much spin on that. Is it going to hold behind the 3? It's just crept out. How's his luck? I think his luck's pretty good. Well, he's going to have to go for it. He's got a 3 and 9 that aren't set, so he's got to make this. So he's missed it and he's left the 3. So once again, Yama has got an open table. The only problem ball, if there's going to be a problem this time, is the 8. But the 8 is set as a 8-9 combo, so he doesn't really have to work hard to get on the 8 ball in terms of playing it into an open pocket. He can just leave the cue ball like where it is now and play an 8-9 combo. So if he's planning ahead, that's maybe what he's thinking about. Well, there's a mistake. Now, if there's going to be a mistake for Yama, it's probably longer shots where he's going to have to go around a corner and manoeuvre the cue ball, because the house cue has got the highest deflection of all the cues. It's just a basic cue. It doesn't have the same power in it as a normal playing cue either. So he does pay the price on certain shots, but he does seem to get by with it most of the time. So here's Houdini's chance. It's not a straight 5 ball, but he's going to fluke the 7. Well, there you go. It helps having 5 and out. So Houdini's managed to manufacture his way back into it by potting the wrong ball in error. And he's come up dry by the looks of it, but there's a problem for Yama. We all know what the problem's going to be. That ball there, oh, I've got the wrong doodle up, hang on, that one. 5 balls hanging over the bag, and of course that's Houdini's money ball, and Yama has to negotiate this table and run out. And I'll be honest with you, there's no excuse why he shouldn't. Everything's there. Now this is where you've got to be careful, and things can go wrong, but I think he's got away with it. It's a bit of a blind pocket cut though. He can't afford any errors. This is effectively rack ball, this 6 ball, if he gets it, because he should be home and dry once he gets this. And there's a mistake. So Houdini, well, he could be really vicious and go for a reverse bank it towards this right hand corner pocket at the bottom of the screen as we look, or he can try the combo and he gets it. So, well, the last rack was a fluke, but he played the combo there in the 8, played a good shot, and all of a sudden it's just 1 rack in it. So Houdini is using the handicap now. A bit late in starting, but he's still in the game. Once again though, I don't think anything's gone. Dry break. And that all came about there with Yama leaving himself in the low side of the 6 ball. And whenever you're cutting into a blind pocket, now a blind pocket means you're not looking at the actual pocket when you're hitting the object ball. The object ball that you're playing is offline to the actual pocket that you're playing it to, so you have to judge the connection on the object ball, and there's always that element where it's a bit of guesswork. The pocket's always a good guide for potting a ball because you have the pocket in the background. When you don't have the pocket there, it makes the shot a lot more difficult. So Houdini's hung up the one ball. This could be a quick rack for Yama. He's got plenty of room to get the cue ball over to the left hand side as we look and play the 2-9 combo, as long as he avoids a 3, and that looks pretty good to me. It's not dead set, but I think he'll get this 9 out of 10. And in it goes. Yama opens up a 2-rack lead again. Now breaking open rack number 9, leading by 5 racks to 3 in a race to 7. Now, of course, Yama's break is always going to be a soft break because he doesn't have a break cue either. I don't think he's got anything. I think he's just got the house cue. In fact, let's have a quick look and find out. We'll go to his profile, if I can get the thing to stay up on the bloody screen. Or maybe it's because I'm recording it won't stay up. I think that's maybe what the problem is. Well, we'll go to it later on. I think that's maybe the problem. Not a great shot by Houdini, but again, he's in a good position where he can play a decent safety shot. Now that 6 and 9 are tied up. He shouldn't split them, and there's the mistake made again. Okay, he's got cover behind the 7 and 8, but what you don't want to do is open up balls. You have to leave the opponent to do that because he's the guy that's having to run the table to win a rack. And this is all the evidence is there that Houdini isn't actually thinking an awful lot. He could use his handicap a lot better if he made things a lot tighter for Yama. So Yama, of course, can't jump because he doesn't have the jump cue, so he has to pick out the angles, and he's usually pretty good at it. There's a result come in. He's got the hit in the 4, and he might have he's pretty much got away with it. Again, there's a bank there. I don't know what Houdini's doing here. He's went for the bank the other way. So a result has come in, and Seni hasn't turned up. Potman has won by forfeit, so once again Yama is going to play the kick shot. It could be off 2 rails, it could be off the side rail, the end rail, and then hit the 4 or hit it direct. I don't know whether he's got the angle to hit it direct though. It'll be quite tight. Oh no, there's plenty of room. And that's a good shot. And don't forget, this is Houdini making life easier for Yama. If he had left the, was it the 6 and the 9 tied up? I can't remember now. But with that shot that Houdini played, he split them open for Yama. So here's the crucial one, getting out onto the 7. It looks like the 7 is going to be bottom left hand corner as we look, or in the middle, and if he plays for the gap between the 8 and the 9, or he could go beyond the 9, which he's done. Yama's tagline in the profile: Potting is everything. Cue ball control is not important. Well, there's a certain amount of truth in that in VP4 because you don't, you've got. It's much easier to pot a ball in VP4 than it would be in a real table. And you see players potting balls from every angle in this game. But in most games, cue ball control is going to get the job done. So Yama now is leading by 6 racks to 3, and I just wish Houdini would watch some of these videos at a later date and see where he's going wrong. I keep talking, I think I talk week after week about certain players where they do not think and they are architects in their own downfall. I don't care whether they're getting a handicap or not. Most of the time it's the players that are getting a handicap, it has to be said, because they're the ones that are lacking the knowledge or lacking the nous, as we would say, of the game to actually work your way out of problems and also to create problems for your opponent. But making your life easier for your opponent is not part of the game, not part of any game. And the problem that that Houdini has is that Yamaguchi Taro is of a standard where if the balls are lying open and the quality of the player he is expecting to run out. And until Houdini appreciates that and keeps things tighter and plays wiser, he's going to continually be on the end of a beating, no matter what handicap he gets. So Houdini's more than likely played his last shot unless some sort of disaster happens here for Yama. Well, there's a disaster. Now, Houdini has just got a simple pot in the 4, and the worst mistake he'll ever make here is not coming back out off the 4 and hooking himself behind the 7. And he's managed to avoid that. So that's one of his lifelines saved there, but that was the error made by Yama this time. So Yamaguchi Taro sitting on the hill. Houdini broke off in rack number 11, comes up dry, and there's a danger straight away. We've got a 7-9 combo sitting there, and whatever Yama does, he needs to move something here, I think. He might try and punch this 1 in off the 9. Well, he's went for the cut, but the 9 ball's still sitting there. So I think we'll pretty much guess what's going to happen here. It's the straight run out. Getting on the 3 is all about just the pace. Has he run too far? Is he going to be behind the 5? Well, there's a chance here. A chance for Houdini. There's another result came in. DJ Redo has beaten Andre Hagus by 7 racks to 3, and no doubt DJ Redo would be getting handicapped there. So here's a crucial shot for Yama. A kick on the 3 and a little bit of hope that it runs safe. And I think he'll be fairly happy with that. That's a pretty good outcome. And once again, Houdini has to keep this tight. And all he's going to do is split up the 3 and 4 and leave the 3 over the bag. Well, this time Yama doesn't need to be quite as elaborate for his position. He can leave the 4 long. But ideally he wants to finish sort of here on the 4. He needs an angle to drop in behind the 5. Let's see whether he's got it. That's pretty nigh perfect. That's more or less on the line, so he can punch the 4 in or roll it in and just put a bit of drag in the cue ball. He's got any choice of whatever he wants to do, but he's perfect to drop in behind the 5. And he ideally wants to drop onto the rail if he can, or away from the rail. He needs to leave that angle. So he's punched it. He's got an angle. He can push the cue ball around the corner if he wants, behind the 8. Bit of top and right English. And of course, if you look at the 7 and the 9, they're not set as a combo. He's going to have to manufacture something. He could play a billiard. So he's decided to draw back. Well, now he's going to have to use power. And of course, remember, he's using a house cue. And it looks like the billiard that's going to be. He's had a look at it, and that looks fairly straightforward to me. This should be all over. So in goes the 9, and Yamaguchi Taru comfortably, it has to be said, wins the match by 7 racks to 4. Houdini moves over to the 1 loss side for the rest of the tournament, and we can now have a quick look at the bracket. Right, so that match is just about to update, and Yamaguchi Taru is going to be playing Larry, and that's the 2 strongest players in the tournament are going to match up, and Larry is getting the 8 ball. He's getting the handicap, so we'll dive straight in there, and they'll be lagging off right now. We're just going to sync up once the lag is over, and Yama has won the lag. So we've seen Larry playing lots of times, and this is a different calibre of player than Houdini. Larry has got enough sense about him to make things difficult for Yama. The only criticism I would say with Larry, and probably I've said that more times than normal, is the fact that he is a bit too attacking for his own cause. Sometimes Larry's errors come around from the fact that he's going for far too many shots, and he's made a mistake straight away. He's left Yama a simple 1 and a simple 2-4 combo here. Don't forget, Larry's got that 8 ball as his money ball. He's not going to get many of them if he leaves Yama easy starters. Now, let's have a look. Well, it's more than likely, I would see that's too straight. He's going to have to force this again to get up for that 3 ball, unless he wants to leave some long 3-8, 3-7 combo. I think he'd be more inclined to try and get on the 3 into the middle or into the bottom right hand corner. He's playing it into the middle. Has he gone too far? Yeah, he's gone far enough. He's left a shot. Slightly the wrong angle on the 5, but shouldn't be any issue here. Now, let's have a look at what angle he's got there. Well, it looks simple enough. He doesn't want to come across too close to the 7. I see that. I still think the problem for Yama is the fact that he's got far too much deflection on this house cue, and that's part of the reason he missed that. So here's Larry's chance. He's got the 8 ball as his extra money ball. He's got himself on the 7, and he should just be coming around off the left hand rail out into the middle of the table on the right hand side for the 8 ball. So both players have made an error. This time it's worked out in Larry's favour. The second error was Yama's, and Larry comfortably sinks the 8 ball. So Larry has won the first rack. And in goes the 8 ball into the right middle, so the 8 ball's going to get respotted next to the 1. And Larry's got a shot on the 1. 2 balls over the top left corner, and the angle in the 1 isn't perfect. Again, it's an offline pot, so Larry's decided he's going to play safe. This 1 needs to hit the rail, which it has. Now, has that actually got cover? No, it hasn't, so that could have been a bit tighter to the 8 there and left a bigger problem for Yama. As it is, he can see the 1, and now he's looking to try and tuck the cue ball up in the far corner there. And this is a simple enough kick shot for Larry. I don't think he'll be jumping it. It looks as if he's lining up a jump shot, but I think it'd be easier to kick it. Remember, when the cue ball gets to the 1, it's not going to have a lot of pace. He might even be playing the cut. No. Well, he's got lucky, got the cover. Now, again, this isn't a difficult kick shot on the 1. The angle's there off the right hand rail to hit the 1. Yama's looking at 1, 2, 3 rails, is he? So you can actually make the angle off the right hand rail. Off that rail there, you can make the angle by playing right hand English, so the cue ball checks off the rail and goes to the 1 ball. But it looks as if he's going there, there, and the same thing. Let's see what he does. Yeah, he hit the knuckle. So Larry with ball in hand. 1 ball has got a pocket down here in the bottom right hand corner. Larry's just eyeing up the position of the balls, and he's going to have to get onto the 3 to play the 3-5 combo. Oh, that just wiped its feet. So needs to play it soft to hold the 3 ball. Slightly the wrong angle in the 4 here. He might be trying to drop the 4 in and come behind the 6 for the same pocket, or maybe even into the left middle. No, he's run through. So we're now playing at distance, and he might be inclined to put a wee bit of English on this. I don't know. I mean, it looks plain enough that he can avoid the 8 ball. Yeah, he's played it with inside English. Well, he's got a bit of a favour off that pocket there. But again, this isn't cut and dried. 8 ball in the middle of the table. He's got to play this with a bit of manoeuvrability in the cue ball here to get on this 8. He could actually draw off it. He needs to watch the in-off though. If he draws to the left-hand side near that left-hand pocket to play the 8 into the top right, there's a danger. Well, he's chose to use the rail to come across. That's a good shot. So remember, Larry only needs the 8. So Larry's getting the benefit of his handicap, and he's now leading by 2 racks to 0. And the 7 ball has gone. Larry might try to come in behind the 5 here. Oh, he's played it softer to nudge the 2. This is just going to be a straight bank to kick the 1. That's not a bad shot if Larry wants to risk the 1-2 combo. And again, this could be a quick rack. We've got a 3-9 combo sitting waiting for Larry, so he just needs to be gentle with this 1 ball. Just try and get that cue ball in line with the 3. He wants to get the cue ball somewhere here if he can. Well, he's gone in the short side and he's now cutting it back, so that makes it a bit more difficult to judge the hit point. Again, you'd expect him to get this 8 out of 10. Well, that's one of the 2 shots that he would miss in the 8 out of 10. So this has given Yama a chance, and there's a result come in. Capo has beaten, well, that's a weird result. Capo's beaten Preacher by 6 racks to 5 in the race to 7. I think somebody must have quit maybe or something like that. Back to this match. Yama's got his chance, and of course he's got to run out, and he's not exactly got a great shot in this 4 ball to get down onto the 5. He's going to have to force this, and in all honesty it is not a good shot. He's going to probably have to leave this at distance. If he's going to play the percentage shot, he's just going to have to come across and back across, which he's done. So he's now got the long thin cut. And this can go wrong. Well, this is going to nudge right onto the 6. And that'll be a pleasing shot for Larry. The only thing that's going to save him here is if Yama can't get a good shot on the 8. So in goes the 6, and what looks to be a simple enough roll in the 8 will get Yama off the mark. He stuns it in, and a simple 9. So here goes Yama with his soft break. In goes the 5. And in goes the 6. And he's sitting nice on the 1. And this shot that he's about to play is probably the make or break shot in the rack straight away, because if he gets on this 2 in such a way, it can drop in behind the 3. And the 3, let's have a look. Well, it goes past the 9 anyway, so it goes in both pockets as long as he can get on it. Off the 2. The 2's the issue. And it needs to keep running. Well, he'll do well to hold the 3 if he's trying to cut that 2 into the right middle. I think he's going to run into the 7. And he's got the wee bit of luck. He's lying perfect in the 3. Those little nudges helped him. The only problem is he's tied the 7 and 9 up. Well, again, if you look at where the 7 and the 9 are sitting, and if he managed to get the cue ball somewhere in here from this angle, he could actually play the billiard off the 7 and billiard the 9 into the pocket. That's provided he doesn't get position on the 4 ball that he can split the 7 and the 9. Well, let's have a look. I think he's gone too far. No, he's gone far enough. Now he can spin across here. No, he's decided against it. So what's he manufacturing here? The 7 doesn't go. It's not a combo. Is he just trying to tuck Larry up? Looks like it. He's trying to come off the edge. Well, he's got the cover. So this is a... Well, Larry could roll up to the 7 as long as he hits the rail. He's not going to move things an awful lot, but he's played the hit and just hit and hope. And it's left a shot on for Yama. Once again, no. He's going to have to manoeuvre the cue ball. So now we're tied up. 2 racks all. Yama breaking off in rack number 5. Dry break. And Larry playing for position in the 2. Well, he got position in the 2, but he's missed the 1. And he's got away with it. Now, I wouldn't fancy even playing a little swerve shot round that 6. Oh, you could see it. Could just see enough of it. Now, while they're messing about in this rack at the moment, let's have a look at the bracket. So we can see the match we're in watching, and the winner of this match is going to play Popman. We've got DJ Redo and Capo. They're underway in their 3rd round match, and Houdini, who lost to Yama, is getting the 8 ball against Preacher, and we're waiting on a score coming in that match. And Yama's played the kick in behind the 1. Once again, Larry's left with a very thin cut in the 1 ball. and there's an awful lot of traffic. That 3 ball looks in the way if he's going to run around the corner here. He's going to go there and there. The 3 balls in a dangerous position. And you see what I mean? So he's missed the cut in the 1 anyway. And if anything, the 3 ball has just done him a favour. Yes, because Yama can't pot the 1. But the 3 ball was always a problem in trying to get not only the cut in the 1, but getting the cue ball around the table down for a shot at the 2 ball. Now this could be a stone dead punch in the 1, but I don't think Yama can punch the 1 around the table. There's again too much traffic, and he's had a double kiss. And this time, well, I think he might have got away with it again. Well, Larry certainly can't make any potting angle without a jump. Now this time, of course, if he gets the 1, and assuming he does, he's got no shot in the 2. Cue ball's going to scratch, so there's the mistake. Now can Yama punish Larry? This 5 ball's fairly tight to the right hand rail, so he's going to have to play an awkward little cut shot here. He doesn't want to go right on the rail. He's left himself an angle. And again, you would say this is a crucial shot in the rack. He's got to keep that 5 ball nailed to the rail and come back off the side rail and out for the 6. Now this shot can go wrong because he's using a house cue, because he needs to force the 6 in, and he's managed to do it, and the 7 goes past the 8. So it looks very likely that Yama, who was trailing by 2 racks to 0, is about to go into the lead. And a nice little angle on the 8 just to chip the 8 in and just come up the table for a simple 9. Well, dry break for Yamaguchi Taru. Larry has a shot in the 1. He could even have a blast at the 1-9, but I'd be very surprised if Larry went for it, because actually getting on the 2 is not quite as simple. The angle he's got here, he's going to have to put a lot of draw in the cue ball just to avoid the 2 and actually try and hold. Again, that's a bit of a flash at it there by Larry. And this time again, Larry's got away with it. That's the sort of luck you need. Well, there's a bit of tactics here by Yama. He's decided that he couldn't get to the 1 ball, so he decided to play the deliberate foul. Now Larry's basically, Yamaguchi Taru's called Larry out and said, look, there's ball in hand, go and run the table to win the rack. And that's actually pretty good thinking by Yama. Yama's limited by the fact that he doesn't have a cue case full of cues. He doesn't have a jump cue. He's playing with a house cue. So he's decided to say to Larry, right, go ahead and win the rack. And that puts pressure on Larry, and straight away we've got the mistake. And again, Larry's going to jump his way out of this and have to try and cut the 3 and also rely on luck to get on the 4. So the cue ball's going up the table. He's still in good position. So it's all in Larry's hand. And Larry will be desperate to actually run this out, just to let Yama know that, well, if that's what you're going to do, I'm going to run the table. A good bit of tactics here. I think Larry's gone a bit straight in this 5 though. Yep. So he's having to put a bit of fizz on the cue ball. And it's gone wrong. So there's the second mistake, and this time Larry's got to pull out the bank. It looks a good bank in the 6. I think the 6 goes past the 9. He's going to have to go, well, he's decided to play safe. How's his safety? Well, he's certainly not getting the 6 direct, so Yama's going to have to kick at this. He can come off the 2 rails in behind the 6, going the way that he's looking there. But he's certainly not going to hit it direct, not from what I can see. Can he squeeze past that 7? Well, I'm right up next to it. He's managed to catch the edge of it. Well, Larry can see enough of the 6 to cut this. He's got to get it. And he's got the nudge on the 9, and he's got perfect position in the 7. And Larry can just drop in behind the 8, between the 8 and 9. Oh dear Larry, oh that was poor. Now I wasn't right behind the shot to see the shot he had in the 7, but if your instinct tells you that the cue ball's going towards the 8, then you have to play that little bit of stun to take that out of the equation. So that might be a fatal mistake there by Larry, and remember, this is from the opportunity that was given to Larry with ball in hand. He made 1 error, got away with it, made the 2nd error, and now he's left Yamaguchi Taro a very thin cut in the 8, and he's got it. How's the kiss in the 9? Pretty damn good. So it's worked in Yamaguchi Taro's favour. Conceded the ball in hand to Larry, and what do you know, Yamaguchi Taro's won the rack, and now leading by 4 racks to 2. He's got the gap. He's got the little safety net going. And dry break. And no shot for Larry, I don't think. He's just going to try and tuck this 1 ball away. You can certainly bank it back towards the 8 and 9. Hopefully for Larry's sake up by the 3. And get the cue ball down at the bottom of the screen here as we look. I don't know. I think the pocket's more concerning him. Yeah, he's just decided to play the push out. I think that was part of the problem, that the angle towards the pocket wasn't good. But he's left a damn good bank here for Yama. So that push out by Larry wasn't the best of push outs in the world, to actually just push it to a bank. And if Yama had got a better bit of luck there, he could have been on another run out, but he should have Larry in trouble. And Larry's certainly very unlikely that he's going to jump the 8 ball from that distance. Oh, of course, he hasn't hit a rail. Am I out of sync here? Let me just leave the room and come back in, because I thought Larry was at the table there. Or was it Larry that was at the table? Wait a minute. Let's go back in. Aye, so Larry's given ball in hand. He didn't hit the rail. I thought I was seeing things there. That's a fatal error by Larry there. Oh, that was a surprise. That's why I thought I was going out of sync. That's what the hell's going on. So a free go at the run out here for Yamaguchi Taru. Not a great position in the 3. And now he's behind the 4 and the cue ball's running, but he's got a good angle, even though it's a nasty cut. He's got a good angle to come right round behind the 5 and out into the middle of the table. Oh, he's missed the cut though. Once again, this 4 is a thin cut, even to risk it. I mean, that is dangerous to be taken on, because the cue ball's running and Larry's not got any great idea where this cue ball's going to finish, because it's got to have enough power to make the cut to get the 4 ball moving. And now he's just relying on luck to get on the 5. So the pressure is on here. Larry knows that he has to run out. Can't afford another mistake. And that's why Larry's taking his time and trying to line up this shot as best he can. But once again, he's going to have to take his time with this one, because unless he's prepared to try and roll this 6 ball in dead weight and leave a nasty cut in the 7, he's going to have to force the cue ball through. And this can go wrong. This can hang up in the jaws if he's playing this with the power that he needs. And he's managed to get the left-hand English on it as well. And he's still not home and dry. And this needs a gentle little pot in the 7. I mean, it looks all too easy just to gently pot the 7 and get the cue ball for the 8 ball into the middle. Just at the end of the arrow. Perfect. And I think he can just drop behind the 9 as well. He looks as if he's forcing this across, is he? Oh no. Well, we're in this dangerous territory. Oh no, he only needed the 8 ball. I nearly did it again. I nearly did it again with a handicap. I've forgotten that Larry only needs the 8 ball. Almost. So Larry gets 1 back, still trailing by 1. And he gets the 2 ball off the break. He's got no shot in the 1. And he should have Yama tucked up good and proper here. Well, he's definitely played the 1-8 combo, but that was a risky one to take, but it's paid off because he's tied the match up at 4-all. Brave shot to take on early in the rack. Now, what flew in there? I think the 2 ball went in, the 4 ball's gone in, the 1 ball's gone in. Yep, he's lying dead straight in the 3. Let's have a look at this from this angle. Well, I don't know whether he can draw down onto the 9. Is he avoiding it? No. This is going to be a quick rack, and the match all of a sudden has just been turned on its head. Could well be if Larry gets to the 8 ball. That needs to keep running. I think he's just, oh, he's pretty good. Now he doesn't want to roll to this 9 ball because this could go pear-shaped. He doesn't want to roll to here. And he's managed to avoid that. That was the danger there. Just a simple roll in the 7, and he's got a straight 9 into the top left hand corner. And Larry is going to jump into the lead. And there's a result came in. Houdini has won his next match on the 1 loss side. He's beaten Preacher by 4 racks to 3. And Larry, meanwhile, finishes off rack number 9 and has now jumped into the lead by 5 racks to 4. One ball goes in the top right, 3 ball into the bottom left. And let's be honest, no real shot in the 2. But knowing Larry, he's going to try and do something. He's going to go for the cut. Now this could end up all wrong here for Larry taking this shot on. And in it goes, in off the far jaw. And this is the crucial one already. If he gets this 4 and gets the cue ball above the 9, surely he's not going to play for the gap, is he? The gap between the 8 and the 9. Very dangerous if he's going to do that. Well, he's got the gap. A little bit of draw spin off the side rail, or I don't know whether he can stun it. I think it's a little spin. Now this is the crucial one coming up after this 6 ball. How's he going to finish in the 7? And more importantly, how's he going to get that cue ball up there for a shot in the 8? And that 9 ball is in a precarious position there to get in his line if he's playing from the right hand side. And that's a good shot because he's finished high in the 7. It might be actually too high. Now, it is, he's gone too far here. It's a cutback and he's going to have to play a lot of drag and try and kill the pace before the cue ball gets to the 7 and try and hold this, and that's going to be his undoing, is it? Oh, he's managed to get away with it. The 9 ball almost done him, but he only needs the 8, remember. And in it goes. Well, that's one rack where Larry's attacking play has paid off. He took on a brave cut in the 2 to start that run, and he's managed to get himself out there. He's on the hill, leading by 6 racks to 4. He's got the 2 ball in the break, and once again he's got no real shot in the 1. Again, he could go for the thin cut in the 1, but it's far easier to play a good safety. He could actually drop in behind the 4 and the 7 here. He looks as if he's lining up the bank. It's hard to say what he's doing. Looks like the bank. No, he's playing the safety. Played it with right hand English to check the cue ball off the bottom rail and tuck it in behind the 4. So now Yama is in trouble. And once again, he's decided to give Larry ball in hand. And of course, with ball in hand, Larry can put the cue ball in the exact position he wants to break up this 3 and 8. But this is where he needs that little bit of luck, and it's gone wrong. So this time Yama's got away with it. But and in fact, this isn't actually ideal for Larry to try and get a decent safety here. He's sitting right on top of the 3. Yeah. So the 4 doesn't go. We could have a little bit of cat and mouse here. That's an excellent shot. That's pretty tight. I think Larry can get the angle off that middle diamond there to hit the 3. Pretty much on it. Now here's a risky safety if Yama wants to go for it. Very, very highly. A high tariff on it if he's trying to tuck the 3 ball away. Well, he's going for the cut. He went for the cut. He got it. And once again, you have to pull out another good shot in this 4. Of course, Yama's at the point in no return now. He can't afford any mistakes. Well, he's done one thing. He's got distance. Of course, Larry now has got the finishing line well within his sights, and he's going to be going for this 4 ball. Make no doubt about it. If he gets this 4, he's going to be on the 5. The 6 is sitting there. The problem ball is the 8. That's a good shot. He's going to be just in line with the 5. Now, Larry, if he gets on this 7 and gets on it like there, then he can leave the 8 long. So it's all hinging on the angle in the 6. And the 6 ball, the angle he's got, he can do the shot that I said. He can come around off the 7. And if he goes straight enough, he can drop in behind the 8. Let's look. Well, that's pretty perfect. And so this match is over. Simple roll in for Larry. Make sure he gets the cue ball off the rail. Oh, you are joking me. Don't tell me he's hooked himself, has he? No, I think he can get to the 8. Yeah, he can get it. That almost went tits up there. So Larry wins the match by 7 racks to 4. So let's see what's happening in the bracket now. So Larry is now going to play Potman. We've got DJ Redo, who's given Capo the 6 ball, and that match is all square. And Houdini is playing Andre Hagus in the 1 loss side, and Houdini is getting, what's he getting, the 6 ball. And I think they're the only matches that are going on at the moment. So we'll nip across and see if Andre Hagus can do anything. Trailing by 2 racks to 0. He's got no great shot in this 8 ball. Not a bad safety. But Houdini could tuck Andre in behind the 9 here. But it looks as if he's going for the bank. Yep. And that's just going to hang over the pocket, is it? No, it's not. But it's simple enough to cut. He needs to watch the in-off here, Andre. He's going to have to do something with the cue ball to avoid scratching. And he's managed to do that. So Andre gets himself off the mark. Remember, we're only in a race to 4 here in the one loss side. And Houdini has that 6 ball as his extra money ball. Looks as if it's come up dry for Andre. Once again, Houdini's got a great chance for a decent safety here. Punch the one up the table, leave the cue ball where it is, but he's went for the cut. Got away with it though. That is nice and tight. So I don't think Houdini's not got the angle from that side. He's going to have to kick it from the left rail. Maybe even 2 rails. He's hit it direct. Well, not a great positional shot by Houdini. Stone dead against the 2 ball. Nice little nudge in the 4. How's the angle he's got in the 3 though? Not bad. Needs to go through a little bit of English to get the cue ball up the table for the 4. Got the spin and sitting pretty good in the 4. Well, there's plenty of people say never draw for position. Chances are he's going to draw behind this 5 like that. And of course now he's got the wrong angle on the 5. he's got a slim chance of getting a 6. The best he's going to do if he avoids a 9 is leave a long cut from the right hand side of the table to the right of the 7 as we look. He's hit the net. Oh well, that's done him a great favour. That's a well judged shot, and he's sitting a perfect angle in the 6, I think. Yeah, no, he's dead straight. He's right on the rail. I thought that 6 ball was off the rail. So Andre's got rid of Houdini's extra money ball, but he's going to have to pull out a good shot here in the 7. This is a pressure shot. But he knows now that Houdini has to run these 3 balls if he's going to win this rack. If Andre misses a 7. And in it goes. So he should be all square in a second or two. Simple enough 8 ball. He's going to be on the 9 whatever happens. And we're tied up, 2 racks all. Right, we're back. Andre breaking open rack number 5 has come up dry. Houdini's got no shot in the 1. Well, he played the bank. Well, a higher rated player you would expect to run this out, and Houdini straight away has overcut the 3. And that's just not taking enough time to line himself up. And that's a good one. So yet again, Houdini's got a chance. He's got a shot in the 3. He just needs to get on the 4. Well, he's knocked to 7 in. That's done him a favour. He's lying nicely behind the 4 to roll it in and finish on the 5. So the crucial shot here is going to come up in a minute, trying to pot this 8 and get that cue ball up for the 9. And you see he's now left this. Well, of course I'm forgetting. He only needed a 6 ball, didn't he? So Houdini now only needs a 1 rack. I'm forgetting he's player 1. I was thinking it was Andre with a handicap. This time Andre plays the good safety. Houdini misses the one by quite a margin. So ball in hand for Andre. Not a good table to try and run out though. There's a bit of clutter here. So if I was Andre, I'd be potting the one. And if I don't get good position in the two, I should be looking at a good safety somewhere. See, now he's got a pot on the two. And he's going to be running into the three, I think. He managed to avoid the three, but he's missed the two. So now Houdini has a similar choice. He can pot the two, but he's got no chance of getting on this three. But players will keep trying to do the impossible. And he's potted a good three, but once again he's just going to have to play shots that you don't have, you don't want to be playing to keep racks going. He's going to have to play the bank and the four. Well, I don't know why he didn't play the bank and the four. Look at where he's finishing the five. He should have played the bank there. And Andre can pot the four and run up the table towards the six and leave the five long. So Andre misses the five. Yeah, I don't know whether that's seven balls in the way. No, that's seven balls not in the way. So again, he can play the bank while he's pushed the five into the seven. How's his luck? Not too bad. Well, this is going to be a gift for Houdini. He can roll the five and roll the cue ball past the nine. And he only needs a six ball. And this match will be over. Oh, he's undercut it. And Andre breathes again. But he's going to have to hide this six ball here. He's going to have to keep it safe. He's playing the bank, and in it goes, and that gets rid of the danger ball, but he's going to have to do something else again and play this 7-8 combo. And DJ Redo has beaten Capo by 7 racks to 5, so Capo moves over to the one lost side. Well, poor Andre has missed the combo. So it's all about getting on the 9 for Houdini. And he's slightly better on the 9 ball this time. And it should be over now. So in it goes, and Houdini wins the match by 4 racks to 2, and that ends Andre's participation in this week's tournament. So the results are coming in. Let's have a look at the bracket now, and we see that result has still to update. Meanwhile, we've got Larry playing Popman, and we're going to nip back in to watch the remainder of that match, because Popman, remember, is getting a 6 ball as the extra money ball, and they're, according to this bracket, they're tied up at 2 racks all. Right, I'm just going to take a break for a couple of minutes. I'll be back fairly shortly. Right, we're back, folks. So Larry now leading by 4 racks to 2. Potman, player 2, getting the 6 ball. Well, this shot Larry's got here, he's a bit straight in the 2. Slightly awkward here for this 3 to 5 position. Easy to jaw this. But in it goes. Well, this isn't cut and dried. A little nasty cut in the 6. And comfortably in it goes. Larry taking his time. So a breaking run out for Larry to lead by 5 racks to 3. And while Larry's breaking off in this rack, let's have a look at the bracket, and we'll see that Yamaguchi Taru is given Capo for 5 and out, and Capo's up by 3 racks to 2. Let's jump into that match. And the match is over. So Capo has used his 5 and out handicap to put the second, or the joint favourite of the tournament out this week. That's Yamagon. So we can nip back in to the Larry Potman match. Right, so if we move across, Capo is sitting there on his own on the 1 loss side. Houdini is sitting there waiting on his opponent, and his opponent is going to be the loser of this match that we're watching, I would assume. A good little jump shot by Potman, but of course no great position in the 2. He can cut it into the left middle, and he can bring the cue ball off that top rail. He needs to, if he plays this right, he needs to get the cue ball there and somewhere up here for a shot in the 3. The cue ball looks as if it's more inclined to go that way though. Well, he's tried for the safety. The 2 ball pots though. So Larry will be going for this. Well, the table's all open, and only a poor effort here by Larry's going to undo his chances in this rack. It all looks too simple. Well, without doing anything too elaborate, he just needs to roll that 6 in and maybe finish this side of the 7, and it means he's rolling through there for the 8, and then he just needs to draw back for the 9. You can still play the little draw, just draw to the middle pocket more or less. So Larry is now going to be sitting just needing the 1 rack and breaking off in rack number 10. Nine, sorry, leading by 6 racks to 2. Oh dear, 2 balls going in, so is the cue ball, the 5 balls going in as well. So Potman has ball in hand. He has to pot the 1, go on the 3, leave the 4 into the right middle. The 5 ball's gone, so he's then just got to get to his money ball. Now he's got too high an angle in the 3, the cue ball's running. If he plays this soft, he's going to run over to the right side rail here. This angle's not good to get on the 4 unless he finishes there. The cue ball wants to go in that direction, that's the problem. He's playing this with inside English to check it up. And now he's a bit in no man's land. And whatever he does here, I mean, the shot to play would be to run this into that right hand corner with that angle that he has, because that would get him on the 6. And he's overcut it. How's his luck? Well, he's left a cup for Larry. And Larry's got plenty of room to go on the 6 ball here. Shouldn't have any problem. And that angle's fine because he can come down off the bottom rail here and come back out and across for the 7 into the same pocket. I think Larry might try and draw back for this 8 into the right middle. I don't know whether he wants to leave this long. Well, he's leaving it long. So this is a controlled little sort of soft draw shot. Comfortably in. So Larry seals the deal. A little roll in the 9 and he wins the match by 7 racks to 2. So now let's see how that takes shape. Well, it looks like it's Larry and DJ Redo for the hot seat match. That's to see who gets to tonight's final. Now, this time Larry's going to have the problem that he's going to be probably giving 5 and out to DJ Redo. So that's going to be a test for Larry. Meanwhile, Houdini and Popman are about to play. Now, the time is 9:55. This looks like It's going to be our last match tonight in Friday Night 9 Ball. There's still a fair way to go until the overall final tonight. There's still a few loser side matches to get played. Remember, my cut-off time is 10:30 my time, which is, as I say, about 35 minutes away. And we will go in and see. Well, somebody's fallen asleep in the Larry Potman room. It's still up, but we'll go in and see the Larry DJ Redo match. DJ Redo sitting there in the lobby. He's not joined the room yet. Larry's already in. Just a quick reminder that if a player doesn't join the room within 5 minutes, the room will time out and the player will forfeit. Let's see what the bracket shows. Well, it shows that DJ Redo's getting 6 and out. He's not getting the maximum handicap, but he's still getting a pretty good handicap. And he's not in a hurry to get in the room, and it looks as if he's in now. So let's join the room. And the two players are lagging off. I think that's Larry on the right, because he's the one with the queue. DJ Redo with the house queue on the left hand side. And it's going to be close. And DJ Redo has won the lag. So remember, player 2, DJ Redo, is getting the 6 ball, the 7 ball and the 8 ball as his extra money balls. And he's got the 2 in the break. Well, the 1 and 7 aren't a combo, but he might be smacking into them. No, he's playing it soft. Well, he's left Larry with a simple enough shot in the 1. It's going to have to be a 4-7 combo for Larry though, once he gets this 3 ball. Again, this has to be a slow enough pace so the 4 ball doesn't run away, and it's run away slightly. It's now awkward for Larry, but if he gets the cut, he'll have a shot in the 5. And of course, this is danger territory as well now with DJ Redo having these money balls. But Larry gets the 4. And this isn't dead simple. He's got to move this cue ball across the right and avoid any blocking balls, which he's done. And then again, he's got to go high enough to make sure he's well away from the 9 to get on the 8. And he's done that as well. And he could just come off the end rail back up for the 9. He could drop past the 8. Well, once he pots the 8, he could drop to the bottom rail and up a wee bit for the 9 into the right middle. He's got 2 choices. He's spun it to the right. So Larry's off and running. I'm getting tired. The old brain in shutdown mode now. I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight. It's absolutely boiling in here. with this PC running and this lamp on, the temperature in this room, as I am actually watching right now, believe it or not, is just nudging 30 degrees. That's how bloody warm it's been here today. And I've got the window open, there isn't any breeze at all. So I've got the room light on, I've got this little LED light on next to me, and the PC, this big beast of a PC's running. I've got the main monitor on, the second monitor on. It's like a bloody oven in here. And us Scots are not, we are not designed as human beings to put up with any temperatures over 25 degrees or around about 77 Fahrenheit. Our bodies are not designed for that. We are designed to be blue-skinned, pale-looking, used to the cold weather and horizontal rain people. That's what we're like. And of course, we don't have houses with air conditioning like a lot of the guys in the States. We've got houses that are designed for no type of weather. A poor shot in the 3 by DJ Redo. Well, Larry can pot the 3. He can nudge on to the 7. But I think he's more inclined to just tuck the cue ball away. Yep. And that pays off for Larry. The error has been made. So now Larry's got ball in hand. Now the problem ball you can see is that one there, the 5 ball. You can get to the 5 from the bottom rail. So how he gets the 5, all important, and how he plays the 4. And that looks pretty good. So this is all about judgment of pace. I think he's got to go for the end rail. He can't try and play for the gap. That's too risky. He's nudged the 6. Well, I think Larry can certainly just spin round this a little bit. Little mass 8. And he didn't get into it enough. And of course now with that mistake and DJ Redo just needing the 6 ball, he just needs to pot the 5 and he's on the 6. Doesn't need to do anything with the cue ball. The daft thing he'll do here is if he runs through and comes off behind the 7, he just needs to roll the 5 in. So this 6 ball to tie the match up at 1 rack all. Simple enough looking. Queuing over the 7 ball though. He's okay. Well, we've been on the air for 2 hours and 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And DJ Redo has got a couple of balls in the break, I think, here. No, 4 balls gone. And I think the couple of balls included the cue ball, so it's ball in hand for Larry once again. And so that mistake there, remember that rack that DJ Redo won came about from the fact that Larry didn't get himself on that 5 ball. He had to get to the rail and he overdid it. And he didn't get the little Massey shot, so that gave DJ Redo a gift of a chance and he took it. So no room for error for Larry in matches like this. This is where he's under the most pressure. And now all of these balls are the danger balls. Larry has to run out. Plenty of right hand spin there to punch the cue ball around and out, and sitting, I think, well, he's dead straight in this 7 ball. Now he can play the straight draw. Back. Oh, he's underdone it. Again, he's leaving himself pressure shots to pull out here, Larry. The cue ball's going to get up to the top half of the table, no problem. He's going to leave the 9 into the left middle. So in it goes, and he's finished perfect in the 9. Almost went a bit pear-shaped there for Larry, but he's managed to get through it. So he's breaking off now in rack number 4, leading 2-1. And this definitely will be our last match tonight, folks, for anybody who happens to still be watching. I'm going to be heading to beddy buys. I'm going to try and find my desktop fan. I've got the fan sitting somewhere. I haven't got the bloody thing on though. Well, DJ Redo's making the mistakes, and he can't afford to. Well, that's gone wrong for Larry. He's 2 straight in a 4. This 5 ball is going to have to be played at an awkward distance unless he gets the spin working. Well, he's got the little nudge in 8 to do him a favour. So now he's back in prime position. And this all looks simple enough to get the cue ball over here for the 7. Well, he's leaving it long again. He's got to either roll this in dead weight or follow through with a bit of top and right English to check the cue ball again. And that's what he's doing. This is dangerous. And the nudges worked out okay for him. But again, the chance for Larry was a poor shot by DJ Redo, and Larry more than happy to punish the player for their mistake, and he goes into a 3 rack to 1 lead. Well, nothing doing for Larry, but he's left absolutely nothing on for DJ Redo. Well, he could play a push out. He could actually pot the 2 and play the push out and just leave the long shot in the 5. Well, Larry will probably play the bank, I would think. No, there we go, he's playing a safety. He could have played a bank from the 1 on to the 2, but he's not played a good shot. Left the 1 on. And now Larry's relying on DJ Redo not being able to pot these balls, and he certainly won't do that if he scratches, no. So So again, just a reminder, DJ Redo has to get to the 6 ball. He has to pot that 6 ball to win a rack. And he's just on the 3 ball and no more. And he's finished with a shot in the 4. It's not a dead set combo, this shot here. That might be DJ Redo's last shot in this rack, because it's all looking fairly straightforward again for Larry. Little soft draw shot. Well, that went completely wrong in every aspect of the shot. He didn't go through with the shot enough, and I think he left himself in 2 minds as to where he was going to put the cue ball. So this is a complete gift for DJ Redo here. That was a terrible shot there by Larry. So just a 6 ball. Oh, and he's missed that by the country mile, I'm afraid. And he's got away with it. Now, can Larry see an edge of that ball? Yes, he can. And is DJ Redo going to get another chance at this? He's got a chance to try and tuck the cue ball over by the 8. It's risky. That's not bad. I think he'll settle for that. I don't know. Larry certainly can tuck him up behind the 9, but it's now all or nothing for DJ Redo. A hit and hope. He's missed the 6, and that's definitely his last shot in this rack. So Larry is going into a 4 racks to 1 lead. And while he breaks off in rack number 6, we'll have another quick refresher on the bracket. And we can see that Houdini is trailing by 3 racks to 1 against Potman, and Houdini is getting the 5 ball as his extra money ball. So Potman's on the hill to go through in that match, and this is the only other match that's on at the moment, the one we are watching. And Larry is tightening the noose around DJ Redo's neck here. A good safety. Well, a half-hearted attempt at a kick there by DJ Redo. It all went wrong. So ball in hand for Larry. Now I'm going back to the point I made earlier on tonight when Houdini was playing, where players are getting a decent handicap against players like Yama and Larry. DJ Redo again seems to be resigned to defeat, you know, from the point of view that a lot of the players aren't getting the benefit of their handicap because they're not thinking enough. And that shot there that DJ Redo played, I don't think he made very much of an effort to hit the 6. He got it in completely wrong. And as it is, Larry's just sauntered away with the next rack. but it's all about using good judgment in the shots that you're playing and making it as awkward for players like Larry as you can, and use your handicap. Now, I wonder if you asked Houdini now whether his handicap was too generous, because he was the guy that was saying that. So he's actually trying to well, I think he's actually, what's the score? Still showing as 3-1, so he's struggling to stay in tonight's tournament even with a handicap. And again, that just shows you he's not getting the benefit of it. And maybe if they thought a bit more, they would get the benefit of it. Well, that's a bit of good fortune. Larry's tied up behind the... Oh no, it's ball in hand. Oh, I missed what he did there. He must have hit the wrong ball or whatever. So once again, Larry's got the chance to run out. I don't think he's going to be taking too much time here to do that, because he's got an awkward one on this 2 to start with, but once if he gets on the 3 and 4, he's going to have a 5-9 combo or a billiard, one of the two. That looks good pace. Nicely out into the open for the 3, and a good angle to go up for the 4. Again, he either finishes high or he goes low on the 4. So he's going low, and he's on the low side of it, nearer the rail than the 4, so he's perfect. He's perfect to pot the 4 and drop the cue ball down to here. And he's just following the line nicely, and that's pretty good. And a dead cert cannot miss 5-9 combo, and he's leading by 6 racks to 1. Now Larry's come up dry, but he's not left anything for DJ Redo. Well, he's now at the stage where he's just going to bang into balls, capo style, and hope that something goes in. I don't think Larry can avoid hitting this 4. If he could avoid it, he could get across for the 2. He could come off there and get over here for the 2, but I don't think he can avoid the 4, can he? Well, maybe that's why he missed the 1. He was trying to avoid hitting the 4. Now here's a perfect example for DJ Redo. Can he drop the ball just behind the 5 to get on the 3? Well, he's done that. And all he needs to do now is roll the 3 in. The cue ball's going to go and hit the 8 or finish here. He's going to be on the 4. So again, let's look at some common sense shots here. See, he's the wrong side of the 4, so now he's going to try and do something spectacular. And lots of spin and all the other juicy things you can do with the cue ball, but as it is, he's missed the 4 by a mile and he's got away with it. But he had a shot in the 5 though. So there's the result come in. Houdini has not escaped this time. Potman has ended his participation in the tournament this week, and he wins the match on the 1 loss side by 4 racks to 1. And Larry misses the cut in the 4, and once again Larry's got the 8 ball to thank. Got DJ Redo tucked up, and I'll be an old hit and hope again. And that, I'm afraid, is DJ Redo's last shot in tonight's, well, winner's side side of the tournament. He's going to have to move across the loser's side in a minute or two. As long as Larry doesn't leave himself dead straight in the 6. He's got the angle. And now he has to make his choice where he's wanting to play this 7 ball. It doesn't get into the middle. He doesn't want to be leaving a 7-9 combo, so he's playing it long. And he's gone too far. And this is just slightly awkward. He might play the billiard for all you know. Might play the billiard off the 7 onto the 9. I think he's going for the pot though. And in goes the 9, in goes the 7 as well. And Larry wins the match by 7 racks to 1. And we'll have one quick refresher of the bracket. And we'll see that Larry, once the bracket updates, is now moved into the hot seat in tonight's final. And meanwhile, DJ Redo is now in the one loss side final, and he's waiting on the result of the Potman Capo match, and Capo is getting 6 out against Potman, so it looks like Potman's going to be struggling in that match, and then the winner will play DJ Redo, and in turn the winner of that match will then go back across to play in the tonight's final in the race to 9 against Larry. And with that, folks, I have to bid you a good night and say thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again sometime. I am off to bed, and I'm going to try and get this fan switched on, see if we can get some sleep. So good night and thanks for watching.